and the wiggle was all I needed.
This video is going to be full of hot takes, so be ready. I'm sure we've all seen this video by now. I have some things about the video I can confirm, but you guys will have to believe in BSG. As much as I'm critical of BSG in many videos, I have many videos trashing on them and I shit on them at least once per normal video. When it comes to the cheater situation, we have to give credit where credit is due, and I'll explain that in a bit. Just a quick backstory on my experience with cheaters. In my early teens and preteens, I played a fair share of free FPSs, along with PC COD 4 and CS 1.6. In free games like Combat Arms and Crossfire at the time, you're pretty much guaranteed at least one cheater per lobby, and you have to be really lucky to find a clean lobby. When it came to public servers in COD 4 and 1.6, this was also the case. Neither Punkbuster nor VAC at the time did its job, but what did help was the community hosted servers we had to play in, with admins manually banning cheaters. As I got older, matchmaking became more popular, and came the release of CSGO. MM was amazing. It was convenient, we didn't have to scroll through a server list just to have a group of friends be on different teams. All we had to do was group up and queue. But it had one problem: VAC. Just like Tarkov, early on, Valve couldn't do anything about the cheating situation. Out of a 10-player game, approximately 1, sometimes even 2 cheaters would be in every game. However, the SBMM part of ranked mode locked the cheaters out of every other rank except the highest. As my friends and I started climbing, the higher rank we were, the more sus the players were. And at the same time, we got better at the game. By late 2015, we were deep in the Global Elite. Let me explain. Global Elite at the time contained approximately 2 to 3% of the player base, which was way too many players for what's supposed to be the top rank in the spread. So when I say deep global, I meant we were approximately 0.5 percentile of the player base. I know this because I have other Global Elite accounts that didn't see nearly as many cheaters as my main account. And here's where you have zero control of the game. Literally in 4 out of 5 games, there would be a spin botter boosting Timmies. And when I didn't 5-stack, someone would turn on Spinbot, and the opposing team would turn on theirs, to hack versus hack. I got fed up with this and made other accounts which hit global quite quickly. But I, in turn, participated in the smurfing problem, which to those Timmies, what I was doing was no different than playing against a cheater. And the games weren't completely clean. There were nutty players I've met, added, and played with, who turned out to be wall hacking. But in a comp shooter like CS, there's little difference between wallhack and game sense, so I was okay playing against these non-blatant soft cheaters. I tried ESEA, but at the time when I was using it, the rank system wasn't released and the quality of players was actually lower, so I stuck to MM. What slowed down this pandemic was the introduction of Overwatch, Trust Factor, and Prime Matchmaking. Overwatch was a system where a reported replay would be given to the community to watch, and there would be a survey system to decide whether the person behind the replay was cheating. For every ban, your accuracy factor will go up, making your vote worth more. And for every legit player that you thought was cheating, your accuracy factor will go down, making your vote worth less. This is what we need to start the cheater fight, which also requires the replay system. Hopefully the replay system will be finished by Arena, and something similar to Overwatch will come soon after. On to Trust Factor. It was an extension of Prime Matchmaking. Prime Matchmaking is simple. You just link a phone number to your account, and you get to queue with Prime-only players. This didn't really stop cheaters, as phone numbers were easy to come by, but it's a decent hurdle that's simple and removes some cheaters. And rage hackers won't link their account to Prime because they know they're gonna get banned. Trust Factor is dependent on reports and commends. Having green trust means you barely get reported. If you get reported a lot, and the system thinks you're a little sussy, your trust factor will turn yellow. And when your trust factor becomes red, the game is confident you're cheating, but the anti-cheat can't prove it, so it throws you in a queue with other red trust factor players. The only way to fix this is to stop cheating, so I guess you'll get destroyed a bunch of games and go back to yellow. Commending is a nice feature in CSGO, which is the opposite of a report. You can gain a lot of trust points through commendations. For Tarkov, this system can be included on the death screen. So if an experienced player gets destroyed by another experienced player, the dead player can improve the victor's trust factor, as there are probably a lot of Timmies throwing reports at them. And of course, inaccurate reports will lead to a lower weight in your report. So you can't simply lower everyone's trust factor by mass reporting just because you're an ass. The phone link is something BSG can do quite easily, and what we've been asking for years. It doesn't even have to be mandatory. Just do what CSGO does and put everyone with phone linked in the same queue. On to what BSG has already done to fight cheating. Something that many of you don't know is their fight against undetectable radar cheats. A couple wipes ago, out of the 12 or so friends and mutuals I used to play with often, one of them was being pretty sus in-game with callouts and stuff he apparently heard, and eventually he came clean. A lot of the players in this group has since stopped playing Tarkov, including himself. and since then I started playing solos and sometimes duos with someone from my CSGO groups. And the biggest reason why these players quit was most likely because of what this radar cheater, we'll call him UAV, has told us. I can confirm since many wipes ago, around 2020, the amount of cheaters per raid is the same as what GOAT's results were, as UAV has done what GOAT has done before. UAV would go into raid and wiggle at random people on radar to see who would give him a response. And just like every other FPS I've played, the ratio of legit players to cheaters has been about the same across time and across games. 1 to about 10 to 20 depending on which FPS and which anti-cheat. Now UAV has since stopped playing, and BSG has almost patched out radar. Let me explain. You used to use a virtual machine to sniff packets, so BSG banned VMs. Then people started using separate PCs to sniff packets, and BSG started encrypting their packets with an encryption key stored in memory. So if you want to decrypt it, you would have to pull the key out of your RAM, which is easily detectable. So to avoid getting banned, cheaters started using a PCIe card that copies their RAM info onto another PC to grab the encryption key this way. But this PCIe card was expensive, which took out a lot of radar cheaters, but it was something that UAV bought. Fortunately, many cheat devs have stopped developing for this, as BSG may have found a way to scan for this card in your PC. If you Google the card, only one post from recent times exists. Everything else is from back in 2021, so whatever BSG did back then, it's pretty much confirmed working, or at least against most cheats. Which goes to show, we need to give BSG just a little more time. They're working on it, whatever it is. Fighting cheaters is an arms race. You can never really get rid of them. With every patch and fix, there will be an equivalent bypass created. And if there are cheaters who want to cheat, there will be developers to fulfill that quota. For now, we'll have to use the community-driven anti-cheat in an attempt to achieve similar results as Overwatch. I want to remind you that it's been 3 years since BattleEye's inception, and it took Valve, a multi-billion-dollar company, 4 years to implement Overwatch. Now speaking of BattleEye, we all know it isn't the greatest. It can't be compared to in-house anti-cheats from billion-dollar companies like VAC or Vanguard. But out of all the third-party anti-cheats out there, BattleEye may be considered one of the best. And as good as that is, it still isn't working for us. There's a new thing called Hyperion made by Bifron, and hopefully BSG's contract with BattleEye is up, so they can give Hyperion a test. Apex is using it, Fortnite is also using it now, and apparently these guys were behind Vanguard, which we all know works great, but requires a rootkit to your PC, which I'm totally down for. With current world events, some of you may be uncomfortable with a Russian company rootkitting your PC, but you have to understand, it's the anti-cheat that's rootkitting your PC, not BSG. I would be more apprehensive if Nikita built an anti-cheat in his basement with a rootkit, but with the state of the game, and the state of the world, if it's a third-party company, I think I'm okay with it. If you've played Valorant, for all you know, Xi Jinping is already selling your info to Putin from Tencent through Riot Games anyway. What's another rootkit? If everything is work in progress or third-party, what can BSG do for us right now? The entire community has been begging BSG to double-check Douyin's 69420 with 200 LEDXs and 1 listing and 88 market rep in the first month. They have to start checking them out. At least give us a report market listing button, where with enough reports we can actually take the listing down and ban them from market, so RMTers can't make rubles. Preferably there's an accuracy factor with all our reports, so false reports that result in no bans are weighed less like CSGO's Overwatch, and successful reports are weighed more, so we can prioritize which cases people at BattleEye or BSG need to look at first, whether it's market reports or post-game reports. This way we can push rage hackers and full blatant lobby carries to the top of the list and get them banned faster. This may be a hot take, but cheaters who don't rage hack and go full blatant do not matter to your in-game experience. Every cheater that GOAT has found do not matter to your gameplay. So if you still enjoy the game, try to ignore that video and continue enjoying the game. I come from a time where I was one of the top percentile of non-professional and non-amateur players, in a game full of rage hackers and triggerbot pre-fires, where fighting a wall hacker soft cheating and pretending to be legit is fine to me, because I still had a chance to win, as they're indistinguishable from a player with really good game sense. This may be a false equivalence, where if there was even a hint of doubt that they were just a really good player, I don't see a difference between that and getting outplayed. Similar to how any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. As you can tell from my videos, they're about developing your game and improving your skill set, so you can be a better player. If a soft cheater kills you in a way that a really strong legit player can, you can still learn from that situation. If you enjoy the customization, the extraction game mode, the equipment depth, anything that's unique to Tarkov, that no other game can provide you, and Goat's video is putting you off, just ignore it and keep playing. I've already told you earlier, the percentage of cheaters since 2020 has not changed. And if you were enjoying the game then, and you're still enjoying the game this patch, why let this video bother you now? As always, thanks for watching. I dropped everything I was doing to push this video out after watching Ghost's video, because I don't want my community, you guys, I don't want your view on the game to be skewed by his video. Expect a binaural audio benchmark video coming very soon, because that's what I was working on before this one. Like the video if you liked it, sub with bell. My socials are here and down below. See you in a bit.